Musical literacy. My journey, not yours. The concept of literacy can be defined in many ways. For example, literacy can refer to a person's proficiency in a field or their ability to critically think about that subject. Or perhaps it may even refer to their ability to negotiate and understand the boundaries of that field. If someone is considered literate in a field, it can also refer to that person's ability to transfer their own knowledge of that field to others and to apply it to the world around them. The type of literacy I'm going to talk about is my personal journey through musical literacy. To set the record straight, from the beginning, my musical journey starts off traditionally, but quickly morphs into something of my own. This is a story about a girl who hated music theory, but loved music. That girl was me. Working the system. In grade 5, my parents asked if I'd like to take piano lessons, so I decided I would try it out. I enjoyed piano lessons for the most part, minus the actual theory and reading music part. Ironic, I know, but I found a way to cheat the system. My strategy was to learn a piece of music through forcing myself to read each note, and then once I had an idea of how the song went, I would memorize it. Then, during testing, I would pretend to follow along with the sheet music in front of my teacher, but would actually be playing it from memory. The Great Rebellion. After 1.5 years of piano lessons, I grew tired. I begged my parents to let me quit, but the only way I could quit was to pay my parents back for the lessons that weren't refundable. $100 later, and I was free to play by ear. After quitting, I felt ashamed to play the piano though, and avoided playing it for about 5 years. I think I was too young to realize that I still loved music, but just didn't like the traditional approaches to learning. Eventually, I picked up piano again and progressed based on playing by ear, which was geared towards my learning style. From one stringed instrument to the next. In grade 10, I decided to teach myself guitar. I avoided reading sheet music, of course, and instead used another non-traditional approach to musical literacy by learning guitar tabs and playing by ear. Life was good. At church, I met a friend who played bass guitar, and we decided to collaborate. We then met another girl who was an amazing drummer. You can probably guess what happened next. Yes, we formed a chick band, and we were pretty good. Apparently, I really like stringed instruments. When I was 21, I decided to take some singing lessons to improve my voice and increase my confidence. The method I trained in was perfect. I didn't need to learn any theory or do any sight reading to get down to the basics of vocal training. I could just jump in. Along my journey training as a vocalist, I found myself wanting to learn more and more about the technique I was being trained in. And eventually, my inquisitive mind led me to getting certified as a vocal instructor myself. Today I run my own business teaching vocal lessons. I'm able to work with students at all levels of experience, many of those with no musical background who don't necessarily want to learn theory or sight reading, but just want to be able to sing, and I'm able to use non-traditional approaches to teach them how. I'm also better able to adapt to each individual's learning styles because musical literacy is not limited to the confines of traditional training. This was the best move for my life because over the past 6 years of teaching people how to sing, I truly discovered my passion is teaching. Learning from the past and moving forward, my journey towards musical literacy, which is a continuous process by the way, has taught me many things that I can incorporate into my future teaching methods. Looking back at my music history, there was a running theme of literacy through non-traditional approaches. Through this, I learned that when I didn't fit into the traditional approach of learning music, it felt forced and caused me great anxiety. I've learned that it's really important for teachers to accommodate different learning styles and to incorporate multiple teaching strategies to facilitate a learning environment that is inclusive to all individuals. That way, learners aren't forced to fit into a mold that they weren't designed for. There are many paths that lead to the same destination. By learning to be musically literate in a non-traditional way, I can now implement literacy strategies in many subject areas to meet the needs of all individuals who also learn in non-traditional ways. That's my story. The end.